We have our beautiful brother Clive inside our house, and I see he's making some serious notes. The man is a brains man. You know, the man have too much brains, man. You know what I mean? I wonder if I could kidnap him and take away his brain for a week or so and see if I can run the country, because that man that brain work tirelessly. You know what I mean? And he's making some notes and he's planning a way and structuring and etc. And he's very much involved and engrossed with the foundation. He's determined to overcome the certain social evil what confront our people, especially young people. He's looking to do something about it. We don't want to hear about problems and this and that. All they want to hear is how we move forward. How we move forward upon this. And let's be clear that, we don't necessarily have all the solutions. I don't believe that one person have the particular solution, but collectively we can come with solutions, etc. So we do have our beautiful brother inside the house, and he'll be reason with us. And I just want to bring him into the mix now because, as I said, he is a family among SLR Radio, a family man. Find Your Voice. He was at the last event talking, and he does many public talking about gun and knife crime, talking about politics, and he's a regular, well-known, probably around the country, in terms of what he has to say and bring to the table. So, Clive, I just want to bring you to the forefront, man.
Yes, greets family. New year, new things. Well, new things and old problems. Yeah, don't know what to say, but first, don't believe everything that you hear Dougie our brother Dougie you hear? Me not work no brains man nobody. Yeah. Respect to you, the listeners out there, respect family. I don't know as to how the new decade has greeted you. It being 2020, one of the comments I posted out there was 2020 vision means we have to be focused, awake, alert, and get over our Vexit. Because the end of this month, I think I saw them say that our new leader is supposed to put into act what him did promise. Yeah. But I'm obviously here to draw your attention to part 2 of our pilot for effective parenting, which is being led by the Goodwin Lawson Foundation. And in so saying, I'd like to pay my respect to the family. On the 18th of January, Godwin himself would have been 27. And the 27th of March, again, it's going to be 10 years on since that traumatic day. Now, I have looked in the 2 scenarios. Well, to be honest, it's not just the 2, it's the 3. Because the 18th represents 27, a birthday which was still celebrated and remembered. And the 27th of March, again, bring to close 1 decade, of pain and grief. And I have to say that a period of time this week, a video was sent to me by the mother, and I wasn't aware as to the amount of information that there is actually out there on YouTube. So I'm going to encourage you to go on YouTube and look up the Godwin Lawson Foundation. And when you do, then you will see as to why I have found myself in this situation where I feel compelled in order to support, and I'm obviously asking yourself to give that consideration once you yourself have looked at the video footage. Yeah, and respect. Having seen the footage, I then looked back and I said to myself, you know, this youth was, it's like his death was to represent something. And having watched it, I then had just a comment to the family, God wins. You know, because I'm seeing all kinds of things within this young man's sacrifice. Now, 10 years on, Godwin would have been 27. And it reflects our state within our community. What I'm saying to you is 3 9s make 27. And our case is emergency. Yeah, so with this pilot for effective parenting, it's taken us not necessarily back to basics. And this is a pilot from the Race Equality Foundation. It involves mentoring. It reminds us as to the building blocks for success that is necessary within all cultures, because it takes in your ethnic, your cultural, your family, as well as your spiritual roots. Now, part 2, which is taking place on Saturday, at the,
This is part 3, you know, really.
it's part 3.
Yeah, we had one in October.
You had one in October?
Yeah, one in October.
Okay. All right. Well, this effect I've been told by Brother Dougie's part 3. I had participated in 2, and I'm looking at the lineup, and I'm very much looking forward to the contributions and the experience that are going to be brought to the table in order for us to find resolutions or solutions as to how we can further empower ourselves given the emergency, and empower others, share our life experience, and to further engage with our young people to enable them to have the confidence to walk outside of their front door, say bye-bye, and also to be able to return home in the loving arms of their family. Now, this program takes into consideration the cycle of life from early childhood, late childhood, adulthood, to being an elder, which is very much like myself presently. And one of the things I've come to realize, because I embarked on this course some 6, probably 7 weeks back, it wasn't my intention to embark on a course, but having attended, the session provoked me to the extent that I felt I had was to return, because it reminded me that there was a number of boxes that I could have ticked, but there was also some boxes that I had no doubt was lacking in. So it reminds me the importance of humbling yourself in order to take on new learning. Now, the thing that impact on me, or one of the things that impact on me, was the personal right of passage and the spiritual rights of passage. Because in just identifying those 2 things made me aware as to the problems that assimilation of a foreign culture, how it can impact on your mindset. Because I know your spirituality determines your mentality. So because having been here now over 50 years, because I am one of those who are of that Windrush generation, I can say that even my own children, to a certain extent, lack certain aspects of their spiritual rites of passage, even though I I have taken them back home. I myself have been to Africa, so they know where I lie insofar as my culture. Yeah, but I'm encouraging of you. Parents, particularly the younger ones, because us older
You're looking at all kind of stuff, county line, grooming, some of the things involve, you know, and the classes are excellent. And the facilitators, I must admit, are very friendly. And it's not about them just talking, it's for everybody to share and to experience. But you have to be respectful.
Yeah, and there is confidentiality.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to adhere to those things as well.
Yes, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So, and we're taking this thing as seriously because the last few years we've been talking about this because we know all you have to do is just go on the road, just walk up on the high road and look at way people behaving. It's pure madness. So, and people say we should do this, we should not. Well, and we are trying to do something right, but we're trying to do things in a structured manner.
That's right.
In a structured manner, looking at concrete solutions. It takes discipline, it takes sacrifice, and you have to be organized.
Yeah, so it is back to basics. Yeah, so in so doing is like we're not gonna reinvent the wheel, we're just gonna revisit, what has been handed down, which has been our rites of passage. We know that in the 21st century that they are the illusions which both ourselves and our children are confronted with. Yeah, but everything has its good as well as its bad. Yeah, so it's like with everything, it's not what you say sometimes, is how you say it. So it's the attitude that you put into everything, that determines the outcome. Yeah. So I'm asking for us to humble ourselves. Yeah, because too many, of our youngsters are dying on the street, and we as elders, we know the reasons, we know there are ultimate motives behind it, but we allow the illusions or the short-term benefits to cloud our judgment. Yeah. And in so doing, we as well as our extended family is suffering the consequence. Yeah. There is an agenda, no doubt, that is historical. Yeah. So in one way, we know Africa is calling, and it's calling in so many different ways, because it's presently calling us to re-identify ourselves with our culture, gain back our identity, know who we are, and once we know that, then the love will shine, because that is what is lacking right now, is love. Love of oneself as well as family and community.
But something, Clive, that it's interesting, that word love come up all the time. Because when we was at the workshop Friday, right, I think one of the things we had to write down is personal agreements in terms of what do you expect, in terms of you don't want people talking over each other and so on, so on, so. And one of the words would come up, and I was quite curious what that word come up. They'll think about love for each other.
Yeah, well,
and it's quite interesting, And everybody say, even say, love. It's a very important word,
Yeah, well, I watched a program the other day. I think it was with Farrakhan, well, it wasn't about Farrakhan specifically. It was a meeting with all the elders and influential people within America, and they sat around this round table. You understand? Some of them are enemies to each other, but in the midst there was a box, and on each corner it said love. Yeah. Yeah, it said love, because again it's the same, like everyone wants to be a leader. You understand? And they don't take on their own area of
he's sharing with us, those the listeners, that it has to continue because we have to be, as parents, we have to be vigilant for our children as much as we can, or as much as they will allow us to be vigilant for them. So as a parent, to lose a child or to lose children in some cases, in some families, this attitude and this behaviour that is been going around for the past 2 years needs to stop, because if we're losing our young people who can contribute to how we can move forward, then what are we saying? We're then sitting back as parents or as adults and saying, well, it's okay that this is what's going to happen. It's the natural cycle of life, where it isn't, because they've been taken too soon.
I want to just jump in before Clive jump in, right? That what comes to mind straight away is that I don't use the word fear, but I think I'll use confused and a bit disillusioned. I don't know, that just comes to my mind straight away, because, you know, when we look at what's happening, you know, from week to week and even from day to day in terms of what's happening, you know, because every week, you know what I mean, you know, our young people are killing each other. See? And it's come to a stage now we say, well, boy, yes, we're sad, but we just carry on life, you know what I mean? And was not, you know what I mean? You know, you can't be in that kind of state for, you know. And, you know, it's quite interesting because I was watching a clip of this young guy talking about, you know, he was reasoning, and he was talking about trauma, right? And he mentioned all thing about trauma and different things he was bringing, but he said that, right, if you show a clip of a dog being starved to death and being killed and slaughtered, right, people will be so sad and say, oh, what a disgrace and blah, 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 right? But if you say the same clip of a black person being killed and, you know, murdered, right, yeah, we say we're sad, but we still carry on like it's nothing again. You see what I'm saying? Right?
But that's been history. That's been, you know, that's just a reflection of history, what has been in the past, because always, you know, it has always been shown to us on the television that the dog or the animal had more standing, more positioning than the black man.
Okay. Yeah. I see where I said. Yeah. Clive, you want to come in on the reason?
Yeah, obviously, I'd just like to look on as to where we are, and you know, everything is just now so desensitized that you know it reminds me of back in the days of slavery, when you know they used to hang people and they used to bring the crowd out to desensitize them as towards the atrocities that were being committed. And we somewhat have fallen in that mindset. Well, some of us. You understand? Because like myself, I mean, my journey going back 30 years, you know, so these are now familiar to the point where they're common compared to back 25 years, bit more, when it would have been a shock. Right. You see? So it's society is forcing it on us for it to be acceptable.
Yes.
For the simple reason, well, I shouldn't say for the simple reason, but the ulterior motive at one point was the institutions, for them to be safeguarded for the reason that we were progressing. You see what I'm saying? So there are untowards agendas still in the background that our youngsters, they're not aware of the fact that they're falling into a trap.
Okay then. Yes.
We done see it already because
Yes,
we're older.
Yes.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But
See.
the illusion that is in front of them is like a very shine mirror. You think you see the light, but the light are blind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Because when it reflect on yourself, you're not really making any progress. You're just being blind. And then it's like when you hear a dog bark, it's like you just lash out.
Just lash out, yeah.
Because you not see no color. You understand? You just see a bright light. And it's like somebody's putting in the effort to put out your light. You know what I'm saying? So as I journey and I see these things, you know, particularly being on the inside, in the institutions. Well, to be honest, I've been in almost all of the institutions then, you know, and having survived, and again knowing the consequence, because you've had to pay the price. You understand? But at the same time, you also have to look on that price as a sacrifice. You understand? So I myself now, I'm putting back more sacrificial time because I can see the job is still not yet done.
Still not yet
Yeah,
done. Okay.
I was there when I was on it, putting in preventative measures. Yeah, now we're having to find solutions.
Right.
You understand? And that is the biggest problem.
Biggest problem. I just want to jump in here because Clive is making some very serious observation based on the experience and what he knows. And I tell you, this brother he's so valid. You know, it's like a diamond among us, and we have to protect him. You know what I mean? We have to protect this brother. But I'm going to pick on you, Sister Grace, because it's this Grace on the line here.
Okay, respect.
You know, because we know Grace is a regular contributor to SLR Radio, and she is a warrior among us. In fact, one of the things we did ask Grace to be involved, but because of time commitment, she wasn't able to be there in certain time. But I know she'll be there probably Saturday, becoming a bit late. You know, but Grace, we just want to pick on you in terms of what do you think we should be. We think it's the way forward, and it's quite a harsh question just to throw at you like there. Look at, because one of the things we're looking now is concrete solutions. Because me and Clive, we've been reasoning, and we're trying to structure things and get people in certain position. We're not trying to force people, but we want it has to be organic as well, and we want people to get involved in terms of parenting support program. Clive's got an organisation called RAS. You know, he'll probably break that down sometime, even later on today or definitely near future. You know, it's acronym. We'll break that down. But one of the things we were doing, if not next event, definitely, but just look at concrete solutions. Look at concrete solution, signposts and supporting. But I just want to ask you what you think is the way forward. That'd be the right word, really, and what we should be doing right now.
Well, when you put that question out there, it started off correctly. It's a very difficult question to try and cover, in the sense that when we look individually at the families that have been affected or being affected by the crimes that's happening, you can't use a blanket to cover the whole thing, because there are different. They start off, their backgrounds are all very different, so they're all unique to each other. They're all unique, so none of them. Some of them may have similarities to why this has happened and going back into the background, because if we talk about the some of your programs that leads up to this particular what you're putting on Saturday, is the role with the parent and the child, and we already know that if there is the breakdown of communication between the parent and the children or the child will go out and look to their peers for that added or for that support.
Yes, yeah.
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 So it's very difficult, and then we sort of tread lightly in the sense that as parents, years ago, we had what was more control over our children, or more being able to guide them. Okay. These days, because I was born here, so I grew up through the system and watching their different system, how they've changed it. More and more, what they've been doing, or what society or government has been doing, is relinquishing the roles of the parents, and so it's being passed over to them. So we don't have the hold in which we used to have on our children, in the sense, well, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this. Or someone was talking to me this week, and they were saying, oh, you know that saying, spare the rod, spoil the child. We're not saying physically use the rod on the child, but in other words, if the child needs that correction when doing something wrong, oh man, sorry, my phone is low. What's going to happen? The child, you then you don't have the discipline as a parent to discipline the child to prevent them, because what you've got to do is you've got to bend that tree whilst it's green, whilst you can still bend it, because once it gets old and hard, I'm speeding up my talking quickly now because my phone's going to die, there is nothing you can do. It's already set. So really, it goes back to the foundations of the family unit. That is very, very important.
Very important.
To every child.
Very important. Okay, cause I don't want to hug up because Clive is a man. He must have some serious business. Clive, come in, car. No.
I just with what you're saying there is, I mean, it's a reflection of society being totally broken, because not only have they taken away the power of authority from us then as parents, but there is no moral compass that they themselves have in place, that the kids can then be governed by. You understand? Because every aspect of morality in the last decade was broken down. If you check it, and even those that govern us by the way of law are themselves lawbreakers. You see, so there is no models out there for the younger generation to look up to, that leaves a positive in their minds or within their environment. So they have to create, given that they're now idle. And technology has now come so much into our lives that it's no longer the case where our parents could just turn the TV off or go to your room. You go to your room now is like another planet or another place, or it's an escape, And our children, therefore, they lack that skill of communicating, with their own counterparts and their own peer groups, But where we've lost it, and then to a certain extent, is like the solution, in a sense, is so simple, but so hard to apply, Because we speak about it, we say, without love, there's nothing, And that love is so simple. We could go down the road tomorrow and just be greeting one another and say, wagwan, But we still can't do it, but we can complain forever. All we youths are dead. You understand? But tomorrow morning, we can't just get them to say morning, how they do. Or simple things like that. You see what I'm saying? And then we as a community now, we're saying, boy, something, if they're not giving them money, it's like we can't solve it. And the solution is so simple. And then we fall down on every hurdle because they throw the money towards those more so who are gullible. You understand? The bullies, because it's like if you scatter your car and you find, say, sometimes I said same foul them and yam it. Every time. You see what I'm saying? So we have to look back. How did our foreparents solve our problems? I know that when I first got a mortgage, it was through self with the ideas and the visions for those preventative measures over 25, maybe 30 years ago, to be able to submit them, for the benefit of this foundation, because the foundation that you build on is the most important thing. That's why I'm advocating to you, the listeners out there, to get onto this pilot for effective parenting. Because this can be the vehicle in order to get into the institutions, particularly to schools, to use these program will do for us, and then all our different life experience can come to the table, and we will support this foundation to make sure the very building blocks that makes up our life, to enable us to have a harmonious society, we will use this as the foundation to then put other things in place, and draw on the skills of the individuals out there, whether they've got organizations, voluntary groups, or just life skills. Because some of the best people is, what I'm saying, those who feels it knows it. You understand? So we're not looking for experts. We're looking for people who've got life experience. Like myself, I am no expert. You understand? What I have is life experience that them can't take from it. So whatever I talk, more cases what I've experienced. And experience teaches knowledge, and knowledge is then what is power.
Absolutely. Well, it's quite interesting. Chris, you want to come in? Because I know, Grace, you've got a lot of experience in, we mean experience. I know you've got a big family, you've got grandchildren, and, and you're entrepreneur, you're a business woman, very successful, one of the biggest entrepreneur probably in the UK in terms of the cakes you do and you sell, especially around West London and other parts of London, and that's why we need to rely on people like you, because raising up a family, business, and obviously you had to be quite, I don't want to use the word firm, right? But you had to be firm in a way, because you had to be clear. You had to be some kind of what's what I'm looking for? Some kind of tolerance, or not tolerance. There's a word I'm looking for, But to have a family and be successful in a business, So this is not, as Clive says, not about being an expert. It's about experience as well, and looking at things. When we look at this objectively as well, we have to be quite look at things, because. And we have to be truthful. I have to come to the word truth, because one of the things Tamran, is a shame, I kind of miss him still. He's always saying you have to be truthful and honest. And Kinsu remember when kids were saying that if you're not truthful and honest, right, and you look in the mirror, you are a fraud. You know what I mean? And sometimes I want them to talk about me, no. It means an imposter and a fraud, you know. You know. But you know, and what I like about you, my sister, you're quite honest, and you know, and you're very successful, and that's why, you know, we can't leave you out. You see what I'm saying? And this is about, and you know, we have to take responsibility as adults, as parents. You know, we have to look at ourselves now and see, because if you know better, we should be doing better. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Exactly.
That's
You know,
right.
and there's no in between. No, you know, we should be doing better.
Yeah.
Should be doing better. We can't make excuses.
Yeah.
And you know, and
Um,
go on, my sister, go on.
Oh, right. What I was thinking on, something Carl was saying, not Carl, Clive was saying, was that he said about having mentors this generation. Why don't we have, or when we say we have mentors, why isn't there mentors? What has happened to the men if I reflect back on my life, okay?
What's that?
What I would say, the first man ever in my life has to be my father. Like the first woman in any man's life has to be their mother. Okay?
What's happened to the men? Yeah, well,
What
you know.
happened to the mentors?
Oh, the
Because
mentors.
are men and women. The first male person to me was my father. The first,
Yeah, but
the first woman to my brother was my mother. But what is happening with the family unit? It's breaking down. Especially in our melanated communities, the fathers. I'm not blaming the fathers because it's being, it's an underlying thing that is being creeping in more and more. Because regardless of slavery and all that took place and what we went through, the couples or the fathers tried their utmost best to be around to support their family and their children. And now we're in a stage where the chains are off, but the fathers or the parents are keeping that family unit together.
Yeah,
Okay.
I keep hearing you say fathers, you know.
Sorry?
I keep hearing you saying fathers. So, I mean, we are aware that there's a lot of absent fathers from
Right, so
from most family in most family relationships, you know.
What I'm saying is
irrespect.
that there is that breakdown within the family unit. I'm not just talking about fathers. I'm talking about mothers and fathers as the mentors to the children.
Yeah, well, society is broken and we've lost our sense of identity. We've assimilated to a foreign culture. The generations presently here, they've lost their sense of belonging, you know, because they naturally been born here, think they belong here. But because they're not as privileged as the Europeans then say, then they're not able to depend on what historically used to be the extended family network, because we had it when we had our backs against the wall in the earlier days, yeah. But because now we've assimilated and in our mindset that we are independent, we don't even need with family anymore. We hardly see one another, even though we've got the convenience of vehicle and all of these things. So we've become self-centered, yeah, and in so doing we're now having to suffer the consequences, because our kids, they've grown up not identifying and also losing that sense of pride, which on the other hand is like shame, you know. So we're suffering, you know, because of progress, yeah, because society has encroached into our private lives, And they've taken the responsibility or the authority from us, and at the same time they've not got anything in place, yeah, to replicate our identity, yeah. So we have a major problem which still comes back down to us, because collectively we will solve it, and we can solve it, yeah. But we need to structure ourselves in a way where we can yeah, because we, one way or the other, we've allowed it to happen. Yeah, we've allowed it to happen. Yeah, because we've not taken a stand in order to challenge. Because I know in some cases.
Why haven't we taken the stand? You're saying that they've taken it from us.
Yeah.
We're not. Our children aren't the only youth or young people that are growing up. They've got other people, other races.
No. Our race, yeah, I'm not holding ourselves down by saying this, yeah, but we don't have the privilege of other races, yeah, because historically, if you are aware, yeah, they always try to keep us in what they supposedly see as our place, yeah, and they've done it so effectively that we believe, yeah, that we are the foot instead of the head. You see what I'm saying? So with technology giving us this knowledge now, yeah, we can to a certain extent say bond that. Yeah, the same way that they did bond our history. Yeah, we can now through technology tell them to bond that. So the failing and the solution still comes back to us.
In place? This is what I would like to know. You're bunning it, and I'm not saying that we have to accept what they're saying in our direction. But if you're doing things like that, you've got to have a plan in place, because when you remove something in that void, something else will come in because the void is there. But it needs to be what you're putting in that void, what you're replacing it with, is something better. But if you haven't got something and you're going to bun it,
yeah,
I just think we have to. It's a difficult topic and subject. But as I was trying to explain, that when we talk about with our young people and them.
We've got a foundation which is now a pilot, then we need to use this pilot for our effective parentings. You see? And we need to be able then to recruit from amongst ourselves, our culture, enough men to go into the schools to address the issues amongst our young men. You see? The mothers, they always played their role as mothers. Yeah, which is to show that additional love. Yeah, our love now, yeah, is tough love. You understand? Because our love now is about that rite of passage. It's about survival. You understand? So these are the things. It's like we as men, we instill in our young men hunting skills. Yeah? But in most recent times, it seems like the only skills that we are able to pass on is that emotional hunting skill. You understand? Which is more on leisure and pleasure. Yeah? And then we've reproduced to the point that it breaks down the family fabric. Yeah? And then the consequence of that now is our children growing up not knowing each other. Yeah? And the family connection is then lost. Yeah? So we have got a challenge amongst ourselves, but it's not a difficult thing because communication, yeah, from here, just by the phone, you could be seeing your community. You know what I'm saying? So it really baffles me, yeah, that we are not able to come together as a unit, because ultimately we know what the solutions are: love and unity. Yeah? That is a common thing. Love and unity. Or you can say love, community. You see what I'm saying? So the solution is forever staring us in the face. Yeah? But our problem is, like, to a certain extent, it takes us back to that crab in a barrel mentality. Yeah? Everybody now feels they are the way. You understand? Now, I have been the way for a very long time, yeah, but I've come back now, and I went to this meeting, and having been to this session with the Godwin Lawson Foundation, I'm saying, yeah, well, naturally, this is the foundation that we need to build on, and we need to fall behind. And if you can imagine an arrow, this foundation is at the pivotal point, and we have to come behind it and apply the force that will enable the pressure to penetrate in order to solve our problems. You understand? And then whatever opposition the foundation comes up against, we in support will then surround it. You understand? So then we all of one mind will overpower and consume and swallow up whatever that objective is. So I'm saying? So it's not... oh God, I forgot the phrase. You understand? But you don't have to be a genius. It's quite simple. Yeah, it's not rocket science. Yeah? It's quite simple. Yeah? It's just our ego sometimes. Yeah, prevent these things from happening. Yeah, because we believe we're the beginning and the end of everything. Yeah, so what I'm really pleased about is, like, my life has always been like an example. So when I have to fall in line, I will fall in line. You see what I'm saying? There's other times when I'm required up front, and I will just go up front. You see what I'm saying? Because respect due to Yvonne, the mother. Yeah, she has put herself up front. Yeah, whatever she's up against, yeah, she has to embrace it for her aims and her objectives. You understand? But in order to support her so that she is not just of one mind but of a collective mind, we need to be behind her. You understand? Because it's not herself that they fear. To a certain extent, it's the support that comes with. You understand? She has paid the ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, and I've seen so many over the years. Yeah, and even though I've been away, yeah, I have come back and I'm seeing this is a strong foundations, and all the signs I am seeing it being 18 years. Yeah, now Godwin didn't get to 18. You understand? Now 18 is 3 6s. You understand? So he did not see 666. You see what I'm saying? This year, 10 years on, is 27. You understand? And what that is showing me is 999. Yeah? So this emergency on this foundation can be to the detriment. You understand? It's again 27 years that Mandela spent in prison. You see what I'm saying? So this year, 2020, you have to open your eyes and be focused. Yeah, because the signs are always out there. Yeah, because we are one with nature. You see what I'm saying? So when you hear Trump come up and say this person, he's talking about prophecy, you know. Yeah, it's prophecy him seeing a revelation. You understand? And he's like, he's belittling it by equating it to the environment. You understand? But you see, prophecy are lick him right now. Yeah, them know so the time is up. But not to detract from where we are now. Yeah, because I don't want others to associate it with some revolutionary, you understand, in order to disrespect the order to which, you understand? They've given us a pilot for effective parenting. We are going to use that, you understand, in order to address the issues, because it touches on the issues that concern us. Because it's like with everything, them take our ideas and try and use it. You understand? And then when they can't deliver, them find that they still have to turn to us again in order to deliver it. You understand? And then once obviously we identify what we need to identify, that's to say we need to just humble ourselves, come unity, yeah, and then love will prevail.
Right. Great. You still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay then.
Okay.
Well, go on. And no, if you want to make a comment, just come in and make a comment.
Well, he said with parenting, we've got a guideline. What is the guideline to parenting?
What is a guideline for parenting?
Yeah, what you said there's a guideline to parenting. What is the guideline to parenting?
You're kind of baffling me still, because I mean, parenting each situation is different, but the fundamental is like the building blocks, which is for success. So
right,
you need to be able to identify with your ethnicity, culture, family, as well as spiritual roots. Yeah, that's basically the foundation. And from that foundation, you develop parental skills, which then you need also to be aware as to the cycle of life. Yeah. So in the early childhood, you need to know what the influences are. Yeah. And then as they go into late childhood, what they're getting exposed to and what they need to be prepared, how they need to be prepared to go into this stage. Yeah. And then that late childhood, obviously, the hormones then are kicking in. Yeah? So that transition then would lead you into adulthood. Yeah? But a lot of these teachings are learned from living in the environment of a family. Yeah? But we are detached from that because we live in a foreign land, in a society where you're dealing with all kinds of cultures. So we're effectively in a melting pot, and if you can't identify with your culture, yeah, then you're just going to melt away and assimilate with everybody else's. So parenting isn't just about raising a picnic. Yeah, you have to know where you're coming from, yeah, and the importance of culture, religion, and all of these things. Because when you go out into the bigger world, yeah, if you don't know who you are, it's like a donkey trying to be a pig.
I like that one there.
Yeah.
But Sister Great, you want to come in and give a spin on things, because you're asking some very valuable question. I just want to know if you have a spin on things still.
No, well, not really.
Mm.
No. I mean, I was listening to the what the brother was saying, and some of it I agree with, and some of it I'm still trying to understand what he was saying.
Yeah, well, sometimes I try to...
Well, Uncle. So what is it you're trying to understand still? Because I just pick me if I'm wrong, but I get it, but you're not too clear what he's trying to bring to the table still.
Well, we are talking about parenting and understanding. It's something we know that you need to understand your history to know where you are now. And we know we're in a melting pot. But what I was trying to say earlier when the brother came in was that we've got other cultures or other people who have come from wherever, right? They haven't gone through the slave trade and all the rest of it. And their children, and they still pass down their cultures and all the different things that he mentioned. And they're still going about doing their, their children are safe and going about doing their daily lives and all the rest of it. And yes, we've had to struggle with so many different things that are thrown at us, that is denied, that we are denied and all the rest of it. Yes, we know that, and we not that we accept it, but we just have to, or else we won't be able to move on. And I just want to understand, I don't know, I'm just a bit lost with what he was saying. I mean, I'm trying to... I'm lost. I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Yeah, well, I think, if I can get back, I think it's because our starting point is so low, because there was a time when we thought, because we never had the education as an example, that's what was holding us back. Yeah.
What did we have as what was holding us back?
I'm saying there was a time, I remember coming here 6 to 9. We've moved away from the outright blatant, overt, you understand, to what is now institutionalized. You understand? So if we are seeing that they can institutionalize racism in order to sustain their system, what other means are they prepared to exercise in order to hold us down? You see what I'm saying? So we know there are forces out there, working against. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, we still have to rise above that.
Right. So, Grace, I'm just a bit.
I'm just thinking there's maybe someone who's listening might be to may want to phone in and continue.
No, they were coming when they're ready. But I just want to be clear. Well, just want to clarify where you're a bit. Say you're not too clear. What is it you're not too clear? So we can clarify that. We don't want to leave no missing gaps here. Because
there was a lot, the brother said a lot, and I will figure it out, and then I will phone you back.
Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah, well.
Don't make more sense. Figure it out and just phone back, because we don't want no gaps missing here, because we can say that this is complex. At the same time, it can be very simple as well at the same time. It might not make
No,
sense
because
to
he said it was simple. He said it was simple, but and now it just seems very complex from what he was saying, and I'm just like,
Well, sorry, but
What up? All right then. So, all right. So it looked like you're trying to work things out in your mind. So, all right. Feel free
okay,
to phone back, right? What you're not too clear about or trying to pick up and thing, because the thing is that, right, what we're looking at here is looking at because we need to then the bottom line is that we need to look at our culture, right? We look at our self identity. With that, we'll have a purpose, and with a purpose, we'll have a direction. And to simplify that, if we look at other race of people, they identify themselves who they are, and therefore, because they know who they are, therefore they'll have a purpose, and then they have a direction. You know, we're not talking about religion now. We're talking about understanding who they are. See? And therefore they have a clear purpose. So that's the simplicity of things. And because we don't know who we are, and we look at the history of that, because of slavery, you know, and then we bring it back in the old thing about racism and etc. and stuff, right? We have to go within. And one thing what Clive was talking about, you know, is that we need to start to identify ourselves, who we are as a family, and therefore we'll have a purpose, and with a purpose we'll have a direction. Because if we start working backwards, we have no direction. We don't have no direction at all, and we have no purpose. See, you know. So the long and short of it is that we need to look at the foundation, because the brother did start off by talking about rites of patches, spiritual rites of patches as a new one to me, you know, because it's important that we have the foundation in place, etc. And these are the kind of conversation we need to be throwing out and reasoning.
But I think it needs to be a bit clearer, because think about it. I feel if I'm a bit confused now,
right,
from the start of this conversation, from the beginning to the end. Some parts are anyway, I'm a bit confused. I could imagine if the young people are faced with all of that, of course they're going to be confused.
Confused about what?
So of course they're going to be confused, because we're talking about people who have come. All right, we're here. We've had the foundation of those who came in the 50s or the 40s, whatever it was, and what they were setting down, and parenting, and what they were trying to set down for their future generation.
All right, then. All right, let me jump in.
From certain foundations which they had put down, because we wanted to be like everybody else, or we thought because we're here, society says that. Well, the law says that you can't do this, that, and all the rest of it.
All right, let me jump in here. I'm glad, sir, you've pointed out, right? And Clive can correct me if I've misrepresented information here, right? You see, when we came from the 50s, right? And Clive is part of the Windrush generation, right? We came here because sorry, my mic is going a bit. Before that, you know, we come here, work, opportunity, you know, and, you know, save some money and send some money to our people in the Caribbean. But we never understand this place was hostile towards us, right? Right? So we had to hold it down, right? We had to really hold it down. And one system we had to do, we had to brilliant system partner, and with that now was able to buy property and, you know, secure a home for our family and etc. You know, under a very hostile environment, right? Racist environment, right? Right? Resolve that, the generation come again under hostile environment, and we had to wall it down, work and etc. But we never understand what was coming into. If I had to be, that's what I understand it. We didn't understand, right? People, right? The Asians, the Jews, even the Chinese, right? What they had intact, right, was their culture. Right? And once you have your culture, once you identify yourself who you are, right, and you have a culture intact, right, you'll have a purpose and everything. It helps you to work more collectively together for a clear purpose. Am I right saying that, Clive?
Yeah, I'll say it instills pride.
Yeah.
Once it instills pride, it means then even if you're at a level at the bottom, yeah, because pride and shame, they tend to go hands in hand. So our parents, they fought themselves out of a shameful situation, maintaining their pride and principles. That's what elevated them, yeah? And then because they were elevated, their expectation now is their next generation, their children that they're making the sacrifice and tolerating these abuse for, are now going to take it another step further. Right. Yeah, that's the expectation. So once their kids now, who they invested in, have the qualification, and then they're not making the progress on the level that they had expected because they're now up against these institutions, yeah, it becomes then a problem, because the reason why they're exposed in these institutions is because they have the slave name, yeah, which enables them to present their papers with the qualifications. Yeah, you with me? Yeah. So having the qualification now is no longer enough, yeah, because they've got old attitudes. It's a problem with institutions. They've got old attitudes and they're very hard to change, particularly them ones who tend to want to drink. So when they're in your company, they forget, you understand? Because they don't expect you to be in there in the first place. So now that they've said something, they've realized that you're not smiling, yeah? There was a time when they could have said it and don't have to worry whether you smile or not. Yeah? Times have moved. So as times move, the expectation, the bar is raised. Yeah? So to a certain extent, it's like we're in a situation like we're not putting the bars up when it comes to businesses, high street supermarket, yeah? Because how many years? Tell me one black supermarket that you know from from where to wherever. Yeah, I see one in over Croydon. Yeah, that's been brought to my attention, and it's been brought to my attention because they're looking to close it down. You see what I'm saying? So our challenge is great, but our expectation is with our children. They're our future. They're skilled. They're equipped. Yeah. So if they know their spiritual and physical rite of passage, which is takes us back to our identity, they'll come to realize that Africa is loaded with gold and diamond. The very thing that they're chasing here is back there.
Right. But you see, Grace, just to jump, Grace, you there? Just to jump in here, right? You see, the key thing to all of this, right, is identity. Identity. And I've said again, identity, right? And this is where we have to zoom in our identity, our culture, our spirituality, because once you have that intact, we'll have a purpose.
Yeah, we'll know then Africa is ours. Yeah, no matter how outsiders are trying to infiltrate, they did it in the past, and even strange when they did it then, they took us and sent us afar, and so they could enslave us because they couldn't enslave us on our own land. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah? Even though I know it happened in small proportion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having taken us away, yeah, and we've sacrificed. When they took us away, they took away from us our knowledge, or a certain amount of our knowledge. The only thing that they weren't able to take away from us was our spirituality. Yeah, up until Christianity, no doubt, came in. Yeah, so when they gave us that aspect of our spirituality, then our mentality switched.
See that? Yeah. But you see,
understand?
the reason I'm getting from Clive now is that, I mean, it's about the spirituality, right? This is where we have to zoom into our spirituality and our identity, you know. And to me, that's very important, you know, as part of the still the foundation into our young people. But you see, out of all of this, right? Out of all of this, it's very important to look at was a must rites of passage. Because of the rites of passage, it's a shame Brethren there, Cass wasn't able to be here because he's done a lot of work in this area. But the rites of passage is for a young man to be responsible adult and responsible in the community.
That's
a
right.
young girl to be a woman, to be responsible in the community. And once you have that in place, you know, that's the foundation. See, that is the foundation, because we don't have that in place. You know, I mean, when you say a youth, we just kill. You know what I mean? That means there's no love. You know, he's heartless, and him just don't. What about? I don't care. You go to prison for 20, 30 years. I mean, him just don't care. See, you know, there's nothing in him at all. No love, no foundation, no respect,
No respect.
no respect at all.
Yeah.
And thing. So
It's like saying kill or be killed.
kill or be killed, and it, you know, in no business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No reasoning.
No reason at all.
No long thing.
Yeah, no long thing. And that's what we're dealing with right now. So it's the foundation. And I see where you're coming from, because I understand you're just looking for clarity, yeah. But the clarity comes down to is the foundation. It's the foundation. And that is why we're talking in certain amount of length, you know, about the foundation. And we look at the event was taking place Saturday. You know, we'll be looking at the foundation. The foundation. We'll be going around, right? But we have to look at the foundation, and the foundation come down to effective parenting, and there's other people doing things like Manhood Academy, and there's different organization out there, and so forth. But we have to go within now.
Yeah, and we need to draw on those organizations out there who've
yeah.
got the skill set.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I wanted to go back on the youths. Them, you know, one of the greatest attributes or skills that we have is one of to be able to communicate. You know, and it's really unfortunate when you look now. Yeah, people don't really communicate. You know, everybody is captivated on a screen. You know, and that is again is obviously you have to say is a design of the powers that be. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk to somebody, they're over there, but you'll send them a text. You know, your WhatsApp. You know, what's that all about? You know what I'm saying? So we have enough problem trying to get out. You know, because even like me, most of us in relationship, we struggle to communicate.
Very true.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true. But talking about relationship, I'm glad Sir Clive talking about relationship. You know, even that is a challenge now because, you know, that's where that's where some of the problems start from in relationship.
It's relationship.
It's a relationship because, you know, you start off, you know what I mean, man and woman in love, you know what I mean, or they might do a thing and etc.
And then
Things go pear shaped, them have a youth, and you know what I
have
mean.
a vision.
Yeah, and then the man chip and there's peer arms house, him the one of the woman, and therefore the child become victim now because she would say you can't see the youth and him say no one see the youth, all kind of something there, and everything mash up, and what's happened, the boy just grow up and don't have no male model around him. Yeah, that's right, Clive. Right, and him just go astray. See, you see my deal with now, my sister. So all of that, you know what I mean. We have to look at relationship. Yeah, because
I was gonna say, even like me, I could say my greatest achievement is my certificate. I have a certificate for parental responsibility because I got caught. You understand? For the responsibility of my children. You understand? And I know, you know something.
You got caught for what? You got caught.
Yeah, man, I got caught for parental responsibility for my kids when my relationship break down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you see, what I've come to realize, you see, in so doing, that has given me the authority. Yeah. You understand? So when them talk about all these absent fathers, you understand? Me have my certificate. I was absent, but I was absent with a certificate. You understand? That's why it makes me...
We can't word that what I was. Hold on. You see, you're absent with a certificate.
Yeah, absent with a certificate. Round the corner, not too far. You see what I'm saying? So it was difficult.
Yeah.
But even with the difficulty, you know, I was able to try and balance it. Yeah, there's certain skills which obviously mothers need to impact upon their daughters. You understand? And then vice versa. You see what I'm saying? Because when we talk about that rites of passage, yeah, we as fathers, yeah, have to groom our sons to be men.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not to say the mothers don't have love for the picnic them. It's just they can't define the role. They can define the role in regards to their daughters. But when it comes to the man them now, you understand, they might grow up with qualification, but they don't have the confidence to just walk down any alley. Yeah, when they grow with the father now, I'm not saying all fathers are gangsters. Yeah. You understand? But in that circle, he will see his natural extended family or his network. You understand? Because we got to provide our children with a network, not just family, but extended family. Because once they've got the extended family, that get rid of these postcodes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Which again is another thing I got to learn from this program.
Okay. That
Godwin, they started in Haringey but ended up in Enfield. Yeah. So where is belonging? You see what I'm saying? And then when you look in the context of this postcode, yeah, it goes to show how stupid, yeah, this mindset is. Yeah, to say because a man come from up the road, he ain't supposed to walk down your road. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we've got a hell of a lot of work to do. Yeah. But as you know, I've got the solution, and the reason why I have the solution is because I had it as a preventative measures. So what I had that was working, and the system chose to then take me out. Yeah, but I'm glad for say that because I have the evidence. Yeah. Most of what I do, I can evidence. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it no matter to me whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, I'm ever ready.
Ready for that.
You
Yeah.
know?
Sister Grace, you aren't coming?
Okay. No, I'm going to come off and let
All right, you're going to come off. No, but
all right.
yeah, man, touch. But we're going to see you Saturday?
I should be Saturday, yes, I should be.
All right, then.
Okay, give
Okay.
thanks, my
All
sister.
right.
Happy New
All right.
Year, new challenges
Happy New Year
and
to
new
you.
things.
Yeah, man, give
All
thanks
right.
for the
All
reasoning
right.
still. See? All right, give thanks every single time. So we are going
Yes,
to
brother Dougie.
Yeah, man.
Well, what can I say? Glad to have you on board in this training program. You know, because I'm going to say a man shortage. Yeah, gentlemen, we have to. No, we have to step up. We have to step it up a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, just to let people know, this Saturday, we're effective parenting, and we're calling people. If you've got any challenges with the school, the system, with your children and kids, any kind of, this is a place to be. Come and network with other people, and see how we can support and signpost you. See, and there'll be other people on the panel who's involved in education, who involved in the system, who work with everything about with parenting and different areas. This is the place to be at the Chestnut Community Center. That's this Saturday, the 25th, and the time is from 3 to 6. If people get there early, people can network, or people be coming from early.
Okay.
And that's the Godwin. No, this is the parenting support program. We want to encourage people to get involved on that. That starts on a Friday at the Triangle, 91 to 92 St. Anne's Road. Free refreshment, free creche. It's free to go in. We get free monthly vouchers, Tesco vouchers. Parenting support program, very powerful. So we're not just talking; we're looking at concrete and putting programs together. And one thing that Clive was saying, that this is something we were gonna move on and probably extend it and tailor-made it for us, and in the near future, in the same kind of manner, but more tailor-made for
Our culture.
our
community.
culture and our community,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah, definitely. It's an educational program. Yeah, and it starts at the heart, at the fundamental of what we're needing and where we should be at, because our sole purpose, well, it's not our sole purpose, but one of the main purpose being on this earth is to be a parent. Yeah, so we need effective parenting. Once we've got effective parenting, then we've got the solution to all our ills, all our problems. Yeah, because parents are the first educators of their children, and that in most cases is unconditional love. Yeah, because it's about regeneration. Yeah, we produce our children. They're from two bloodlines. Yeah, but therefore you could then expect them to be of two separate characters, because they've got mine and your character. You understand?
Yes.
So we don't see and we know them. Before they were born, we know them. You understand? It's just when them come, we never expect them to give us any problem. Yeah. But when we look back, we still end up telling them the same thing our parents used to tell we.
Absolutely.
So what does that say? Nothing is new.
Nothing is new
Yeah.
at all.
So we just have to know when to use it and when not to use it. Yeah. So we grow up in our so everybody a cuss, and then when the pitney start cuss now, you want box down the pitney. How that gonna work? So we saw some bad seeds out there in the community. But the long and short of what we're we're saying and where we're at tonight is we've got a foundation to which we can build upon. Yeah, all credit due, yeah, to the Goodwin Lawson family, yeah, to this young man who paid the ultimate sacrifice, yeah. But all the signs I am seeing from 18, 27, 999, and even within the name, yeah, God, win, yeah, law, and son. You know what I'm saying? And over the course so far, I mean, I'm fortunate to have spent some time reasoning, with Yvonne, wishing her more strength, and to the father also, to the family overall, to be strengthened further in this time, and to have an element of joy, because I mean, I was sent this video and I wasn't aware, even though had I been on the YouTube before, I would have had all the details, but the 18th, which has gone on Saturday, was also my brother's birthday, and so also incidentally was the birthday for my kids and mum. You see what I'm saying? So joy and pain and joy, in all of that. So I celebrate and I salute yourselves, the family, for whatever I can do, because these are the questions I ask myself, because I am on that spiritual journey. Yeah. So for whatever reason, Father God has brought me into this situation, I embrace it. And the reason why I embrace it is because it aims to address the scourge which is presently in our community, that needs to be resolved, and it needs to be resolved holistically. And in saying holistically, it means collectively, and in saying collectively, it means as a community. And saying as a community, I'm not making it a black or a white issue. You understand? Because it's evident. This program that we have here, it's a rite of passage for everybody. You understand? It's just that we have to put our identity, we have to identify ourselves in it and make it ours. Yeah? Because we have the historical rights of passage. Yeah? And all the riches, all the blessings, to a certain extent has turned to a curse. Yeah? But once we get rid of this scourge, it's like we've gotten rid of the curse. Yeah? Because it's like only a case of pronunciation. You understand? So, I further give thanks. I acknowledge my brother Dougie. We've journeyed, and we've been journeying, well, till we reach that big number that this year. So we've been journeying at least 40 years. We know it's 40 odd years, but we can shout that with pride and honor.
Well, you see, I'm so glad that was your first song this year.
Last year now, man, a new year.
A new year, true, man. I wore up a talk here for that day.
Yeah, but
before try to enjoy yourself, man. And I tell you, it's a pleasure to be there, Russ. I'm not telling lie. In the sunshine, in nature,
Yeah, but
your garden is full of. You have a fish tank. You have some plants and music. It's amazing, man. It's like it's like a little yard vibe still in her.
If I could have did swim, I'd probably jump in the pan, Yeah, well, people, family, me I tell you, so this year, well, the year that just gone, that decade there, boy, me I tell you, so that decade there was I can't even describe it. A whole heap of things happened in the last 10 years that gone,
Enough things going, man.
A whole heap of things,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But, looking forward to the 2020, paying respect and homage to the ancestors. Yeah, I was able to return to Jamaica last year on a pilgrimage. Funny enough, after 50 years of being in England, and being able, we just go back to the same Earth Strong, celebrating my Earth Strong with brother Dougie. Yeah, and having been in this studio and talk about the Vexit.
Vexit.
Yeah. Hey, me I tell you, say, any old Labour, they just listen to me. And when Boris come up with Brexit, let's get Brexit done. Him should have said, let's get Vexit done, because everybody did just vex.
Vex, yeah.
Yeah, you understand? But instead of that, he met the people, them take him away from his real intention, which him want Brexit. And even now them a deal with them election thing is. And what I tell you says
so
like
hold on. So what we have you on the floor. So how you look at the whole thing with Corbyn and them man, know, because
boy, I'm disappointed. It's a shame for no Sir Corbyn. They met the man them outmaneuver him, Yeah, man, they met the man maneuver him, because the world not ready for Jeremy Corbyn right now. But you see, if he had been elected, at least we know that the environment thing would have been taken more seriously. Yeah, because he'd be able to say, well, how do you justify these weapons that we keep spending millions and millions and millions of pounds on? There's no justification. Yeah, but because the world is governed by fear, yeah, they can justify. But the thing is, what I don't understand is, I don't know why we must join them in this fear thing. Because it's because they're afraid of why they believe they must have a nuclear weapon and we have bow and arrow. Yeah? So if we're afraid of them, then shouldn't we be really looking to have weapons? You see what I'm saying? But we don't really have no time for that, because man, I gotta tell you, so like we know, we say no dumpling. You can't name weapons. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. The world is kind of strange, and you have one madman, or I say businessman, yeah, because it's business that govern this world.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said that, yeah.
It's business. But yeah, I'm most disappointed. I'm kind of hopeful for the second round.
So who you think can take over the Labour party? Who do you fancy? Who do you think should take over?
To be honest with you right now, it don't even matter to me who take over. Yeah. I think, what's his name, Starmer, what's his name? Kate Starmer, the man. There's only one man in it. And I'm not even sure who else, because Labour, they might be leaning towards saying it's about time them have a woman, So I don't know if it's Emily Thornberry, But
they've had a woman, Labour, not in the part I'm not thinking
it's
of.
It's a Conservative that's had a leader. Labour's not yet had a lead, a women lead, and we haven't got that. I think the closest we have from an ethnic perspective is going to be Dawn Butler.
What about the other one there? Diane Abbott?
Diane is a bit frail now.
Yeah?
Yeah, they really dealt with her, the racism and all of those kind of things. You could see the stress.
Okay,
yeah, the stress had built up on her.
Okay.
So, her role is now going to be more diminished. So we've got to be looking to Dawn Butler from over in Brent. So with that, I'm hoping obviously that she's going to talk up the Commonwealth, yeah, because as you know, with Vexit, yeah, with this Vexit, it should work out to our benefit, yeah, but a lot of us are not going to be seeing that presently, yeah. So once we establish what we would consider now that we have a level playing field, yeah, then it's for us to look to our organic stuff.
Hold on, we got something live here. Greetings.
Greetings, brother Ravi.
What go on, you cool?
I'm not too bad. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, man. Boy, a long time no hear from you, wise man. What go on?
Well, but there are a few songs that I listen to what's going on. I've been listening to the program all the time, but the last time I watched the Bullies to my and thing. But apart from that, life is good. I've been listening to Brother Clive as well as you and Sister Grace.
Oh, so you're listening and see what going on right there.
Yeah, man, truly that time, you know what I mean? Because life is life, you know what I mean? So what song for you tonight, you know?
And brethren, we kind of miss you still because we know he's a wise man, and when he comes your little wise words, them and thing, you know, we kind of missed you. A long time we don't hear from you, man.
Yeah, life is as it is, brother Dougie, you know what I mean? Because if you notice it's too well upside down and I'm stuck in limbo, you know?
Yeah. We know I go already, man.
That's wrong. The world upside down and I'm stuck in limbo. I've been in limbo for a long while. And I want to move on now, you know what I mean?
It's true, man. It's true.
But
Yeah,
listen
man.
to these words. Listen to these words, eh?
Go on, man.
Nice, me tell me nice every time. Nice. Who's that Jesus Christ? Nice, me tell me nice every time. Cause the world upside down and I don't know why. I'm a true Israelite, I'm a brown skin guy. And I don't have to tell nobody no lie. Nice, me say the word alright. Nice. Who's that? It's Jesus Christ. Nice. That's what I people like. Nice, and them I wonder about time. Me tell where you come from, me tell where you belong.
Boy.
Let me alone, me say make me function. Who are you, me don't understand. Arrest that man, please, police. And me say, nice, me tell this. You know what I'm saying? You know the future, now.
Yeah, man. Well, we know say he's a powerful man, because I know he's a man spoken words and, you know, poetry, and you sing here as an artist too. So we know about your powers, man.
Yeah, but the truth, you know something? Today is the 22nd, Dougie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of January. You see a time of life?
Now time of fly, Russ.
Yeah, but the worldwide opinion is Donald Trump spent $2.5 trillion on modernizing weapons of mass destruction. And since he's been in power, and that's only 3 or 4 years now. $2.5 trillion modernizing weapon. That man is starting war, Dougie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's time for the world to wake up and realize what's going on, you know what I mean? Because the world needs peace, you know what I mean? And you can't be calling peace creating weapons of mass destruction and fighting against everybody else who want a piece of the action. You understand? Because what's going on in the world today, even in Britain, you see Cape and Harry depart from the royal because them say they want to be independent. You know what I mean? So you have to really actually what Brexit is all about and exit and all these kind of stuff. Anyway,
We call it Vexit.
But what I'm saying is, brothers and sisters, it's good to lead a life that's constructive.
It's true.
We all have our faults, we all have ups and downs, we all have our problems. But it's better for us to hold on to each other and respect each other and love each other and forget the past and move on to the future. Because if we dwell on the past too much, it's going to be a bitter story.
It's true.
Shake and know that we are by the rivers of Babylon and it's time to move on, you know what I mean? Because we have paradise here, and they're trying to take it over, and they'll do everything to take it over. And if we let them take it over, where are we going to be as nomads? We're going to be the wandering tribe again. And I don't want to be amongst the wandering tribe. I want to be a tribe that see, know, and understand, and rule my own destiny according to the love of Christ, according to the coming God, because God has sent me angels all over the world. And Dougie, you just see all the fire that how many months that's been going on, and in California the fire, and the killing and the mass of weapons, and all over the world. We got to just hold. Anyway, Brother Clive and Brother Dougie. As I say, God is great. I mean, I want to put our trust in Him and do the right thing for each other. You know what I mean? Because that's where the power base is. Yeah?
It's true.
Yeah, man.
It's true.
For real, man.
For real, man. For real, for real. But listen, man, you must make sure you phone upon us next time, man. Cause a long time I don't hear from you. Aye.
Yeah, God bless everybody. God bless. North, east, west, south. God bless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, news up, news up.
Yeah, man. Big up your status, man. Every time, yeah. Every time, wise man.
Keep up the good work all around there. And remember, the New Jerusalem is a plan, you know what I mean? The New Jerusalem, because it's a fact. You see, it's not no midterm, but if it can't happen now, whatever. Because we have to be militant in this time, because everybody acts like them better than we. And we work harder than most people. God bless us with our land and wealth and things like that. And if we're going to dash it away, for over serious things over, come to them or feed you and all them things that and fight it. Because the youth them are kill them one another.
It's true.
And do not blame the youth them, you know, because them police are watch them from them leave school till now and I follow them and antagonize them and give them criminal record over petty crime. You know what I mean? And lock down. Them can't even hold their data among themselves and find the charge and all them things there. And when them have them girl and get locked up, them girl gone and things like that. It's a hard life to consider. You know what I mean? But we mustn't kill one another. God forbid these things should be happening, you know what I mean? And God forbid, you know, blood is not to be shed like that, you know, not amongst the brethren them anyway. Anyway,
For real.
keep up the good work and God bless them.
Yeah.
God bless. God
Bless
bless.
up.
Every time, fam. That was wise man on the line.
Yes, bless.
Bless it, love. Okay, then. What I want to do, we're going to wrap up very shortly. See, because, you know, we're going some serious reasoning. And as Clive has said, that there's a structure we're trying to encourage people to look at, and also look at the other thing about effective parenting. There is a ongoing program was started from last week, taking place at the Triangle. That's every week for 12 weeks. It's kind of full up now, but they probably take no more than 3 places, you know. So if people are interested, please contact me. Contact me 0788-240-3871. Also, you can speak to Yvonne and Shirley. I'll give you their numbers as well for more information, because they're the facilitators. 07 Yvonne's number 07852 976 262. I repeat, 07852 976 262. And Shirley's number is 07944 436 671. I repeat, Shirley's number is 07944 436 671. So that's the book. Like I said, the probably won't take more than 3 or 4 the most. But if you ring up and say that you're interested, and it's a 12 week, it starts from 9 o'clock to 12, and trust me, it's very powerful. People are very friendly, and there's so much information within those 3 hours, you know, we need to, and it's very interactive as well, and everybody participates, etc. See? So, yeah. So, what I want to do is, and as I said, this weekend coming, Saturday, with his Find a Voice with Godwin Lawson Foundation, in conjunction with the Godwin Lawson Foundation, present to you Effective Parenting. It's a free event. One of the things we are looking at, the question is who you are. What a question, who you are. Look at the identity, culture, family, look at discipline, and it's all about talk, listen, unite, prevent. Simple things. And on the panel we have Sister Margaret, Anthony Charles, Brother Cass, Sister Artisha, Jammers, people quite familiar with Jammers, and obviously our beautiful Queen, Yvonne Lawson, saying, and the time is from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And it's a free event. And please bring snacks, fruits, drinks to share among each other, because we must can break bread with each other, and and feel comfortable. See, and the structure of the event, there it will be open up the panel, and then we're looking at 3 areas we want to discuss. The whole thing about discipline, definitely, and culture and family. And then the second half, we're looking at concrete solutions, immediate solutions as well. See, one of the things we're looking to do is have like subgroups, but looking at support and signpost people going through challenge. And it'll be different people, different professionals, especially do with education, will be inside the room as well. So, and it's also about networking and meeting and signposting. See. So that's this Saturday.
past not, it's not no more. You understand? So you're gone into a new thing. Yeah? So for that reason, I believe we are in a new decade. Yeah?
Flat Earth reasoning. That's another reason again. You know, we're gonna park some serious reason about this thing here, but we want to bring that in and.
Oh, you did hear about that one then?
We're gonna park some serious reason about that.
Okay, yeah. If it would have been, it would have started next year if the world is flat. You understand? You know, you walk off in a straight line and nothing not change. But the world will go round, you know, and from your past 0, yeah, is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then it get to 10. Yeah, and then it start again. You see what I'm saying? So once it pass not, yeah, then a new things, you know. Yeah, so family, thank you for the time. You know, I still remain on the front line. There's other issues out there which needs to be addressed, because now that we are vexiting, yeah, and them need trading partners. How fit are we to take advantage of the situation, because we always wait, so we not negotiate, them just are gonna come and tell us their terms, yeah, but they need us more so now than before, you understand? So I would say the one Boris has done a good thing. It's just unfortunate that the Labour Party has not kind of realized, you know, for whatever reason, and the example of their failing is a reflection of probably on Chuka, yeah, because he has sacrificed himself, and I think he is probably going to be out in the wilderness now for a very long time, having had all of this potential, yeah. So we can't be looking, you know, to the institutions to be solving our problems. At best, they'll do is give us an opportunity, and even when they do that and they see it's being successful, then they'll pull away the economical support and hope that we stumble and fall. Yeah, so we need to look as to how we can be supportive of each other, irrespectful of financial needs. Yeah, because we know one quaker can still fill the basket. Yeah, we've seen the success of having thrown partners. That's how I started, because obviously getting a mortgage back in the days, it wasn't as easy as it is here, say now. Yeah, so I used a partner, and having had that foundation, I'm able to stand today. Yeah, because I didn't make mistakes. Well, we all make mistakes, you know, but not ones which are fundamental for it to have been possessed. Even though, you know, them try it ever so often. You know what I'm saying? So I'm no different from yourselves out there. You know, and I'd like to reiterate that. I'm no different. Just a soldier on the front line. Maybe the difference is I'm from the West Indies, or say from Jamaica. So I'm a Windrush child. Yeah? Like a whole heap of us, and they've taken liberties. Just that we will come from West Indies had a sense of freedom and a sense of purpose having lived amongst them. Yeah? So we tend to say we don't take back no talk. You know, we stand on our principle, because death, not to say we run to it, but it's a thing that we know our ancestors had made that sacrifice to enable us to move the agenda forward. Yeah? This particular case pertaining to Saturday, the Lawson family, they've made the ultimate sacrifice in their son, and they don't want it to be in vain. Yeah? So to yourself, Godwin, my respect, and to all who are on that spiritual passage, yeah, we say to God be the glory. And we want for Godwin to win all the time on this battlefield that has been laid. Yeah, so the scourge within our society, we need to address it. Yeah, emergency 999. Yeah, to God be the glory, my brother, and to all the listeners out there. Onward, forward.
Yes, so give thanks and praise to the Most High.
So let me just adjust my crown.
And that's what it's about.
When I'm
Give
talking about
thanks.
my
Big up
crown,
to everybody
I'm
out there
talking about
again.
the crown
Big
on
up
my
to
head. I'm talking about my
the
community.
Freedom
That's our
Station,
crown.
Blessradio,
I'm saying Tottenham, Hackney, Wood Green,
Galaxy, Conscious,
Stonebridge, Brixton.
Supreme, Station
Let's build up this
FM,
community.
all the
Come
Freedom
together as
Station
one.
all over
Yeah,
the
we can do this.
country,
We've been talking about this for
and
ages. Let's do it.
SLR.
Yeah? Let's change our mindset.
Alright.
Let's build our community.
Change
Let's
our
build banks.
mindset.
Let's build universities. Let's build.
Change our mindset. That's what it's about.
Yeah. I've got a minute or so to build my community. So let me just adjust my crown. When I'm talking about my crown, I'm not talking about the crown on my head. I'm talking about my community. That's our crown. So I'm saying Tottenham, Hackney, Wood Green, Stonebridge, Brixton. Let's link up. Let's build up this community. Let's come together as one. Yeah, we can do this. We've been talking about this for ages. Let's do it. Yeah? Let's change our mindset. Let's build our community in a way. Let's build banks. Let's build universities. Let's build schools. Let's build estates. Around where you look and all you can see is new builds. We ain't got no part in that. But we're saying that we own the ends. We don't own no ends. Let's build up our community. Let's take back what's ours. Let's capture the land. Let's walk on this captured land and capture this land. Because it's our land. We can do it. Anywhere that our foot trod, that's where we're going to possess. We're going to capture, we're going to take over. We can do this. If we come together, it's a mad thing. Trust me. I believe in you. We can do this. We've come too far for this, King. Yeah. I've got a minute or so to build my community. So let me just adjust my crown. When I'm talking about my crown, I'm not talking about the crown on my head. I'm talking about my community. That's our crown. So I'm saying Tottenham, Hackney, Wood Green, Stonebridge.
Yes, my name is the Right Honorable Anthony Bryan. Yes, I am a Tottenham dweller, seeing, and I dwell in Tottenham. For my days were in Tottenham, and many of my years were spent in Tottenham. Yeah, I know the roads, I've felt the hurts, I've done the wrongs, but now I'm doing good. Just like Moses, he was a Pharaoh's son before he was called by the Almighty One. So this is the time where we should be called and want to be called by righteousness. Because we see Tottenham has been invaded. Yet, it doesn't hurt if love is the binding strength. For to be civil is to get along, and to be nice is to be nice. But Tottenham has changed. One would say for the bad. But if one looks deep within, it would be for the better. For we see war and strife, we see poverty and hurt, we see damnation and drugs rife throughout out of Tottenham. But still, the little buds, they grow. The schools ring with the choirs of joy. Teach them in the way in which they should go. You know, guide them up. Let them know that they are peculiar. Let them know that there is better than just the capitalism, the food, the rent, the tax, the pain. You know, let them know that the Father has sent angels, you know, to receive them. So when they see a light, go to the light and eat from the cup of that light. For in that light there is life. Good words bring life, and bad words bring death. Come, let's lift up Tottenham, because the Almighty God is with us. Holy King Emmanuel, I, King Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari.
So we go to people's homes, we will set up a little store, we have a number of educational books, all types of books, and we will sell these books. And what was very interesting is that when we went to different homes, you often found that people would always be talking about education in regards to children, or what is taking place with our children out there in the streets, in our community. And this, you know, you would find that these conversations will be very, very lengthy, and in some cases we never really sold many books. We then started to realise, you know, there's definitely, I said, I'm sure there's something that we can.
I'm finding over the last 10, 15 years, say 10, 12 years, we're getting more and more black children coming into care, which I'm very concerned about. I'm really wondering what's happening with us as a race. Why is there more black children coming into care now than we were getting having before? So we're getting like the first and third generation of black people that are born in this country, where they're now giving up on their children and their kids are coming into care. And I'm wondering what's happening. There is a problem within the black race where the family unit is falling apart, where families are not pulling together the way they should be. You know, the foundation of like the old school. You know what I'm saying?
You know, son, that's why we need to see the value of family, right? And
the family, yeah, it is so important.
It's so important because
so
let me say something, Rose, right? That the mafia, right? Right? They was talking about the value of family, right? And the mafia to me are the most wicked people. They make money out of prostituting, drugs, and we're going on and on, you know. But yeah, as wicked they are, they see the value of family. That's the thing what knits them together.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
So everybody's in the family, and they buy a big house, and everybody lives in that one house.
The thing is that, right? If the mafia can see the value of family, and we as black people who are, to me, are more righteous and more integrity intact, right?
Yeah.
Surely we will see the value of coming together as a family.
That's right.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
You know. So the point of the thing is, at the end of the day, right? Family is the key.
It is the key.
It's the key to all of this.
The Sunday dinners, the sitting around the table, the getting the whole family together is very important.
To me, it's very important, you know.
And then the child gets to learn different skills from all different families.
That's right.
Different family members.
Right.
But when you're getting like the father lives over here, the mother lives over there, the children are being torn between both sides.
Yeah.
So the children go to the dad's house for the weekend, then they have to go back to the mum on the weekday. It's so confusing for children.
Okay.
They haven't got the one.
So, Rose, we think will be the way forward in terms of come together and work. I mean, we think it's the way forward. You know.
I think there should be more workshops.
More
done,
workshops.
yeah,
Okay.
where they should be having more family reunions. I think you should have at least once every 3 months the whole family get together, like one person's house or whatever, and everybody talks and gives like little things about themselves when they were younger, to kind of instill. A lot of the children are not even knowing their full history. Parents are not telling their kids that your family was this culture. Children are not really knowing, they're only knowing just little snippets of mother and father.
Okay.
And they need to know their history, they need to know where